So much for trying to take some time off, I guess, at this point, when we got crazy news stories breaking out when it comes to the game industry. So I guess there's no rest for the weary for this guy, at least. So if there is a big news story that comes out, I do, of course, want to cover it as best as I can, and I do want to at least talk about it and give my thoughts and opinions on the entire subject. So some of you may remember me talking about how Overwatch 2 has been in quite the crappy state that it has been in the past. I made a video in the past talking about the awful state that Overwatch 2 was in because the developers lied about having a campaign and all the skill trees and everything. And I made a video talking about that and how their one bad update was pretty much Overwatch's 2's downfall. And a lot of us seem to agree and be on the same page. But here, man, it's just. They're just adding more salt into the wound. They're just provoking the situation and they're just poking the bear that is in the bear cage even more at this point. So you're probably wondering, well, Nightwing, how in the world did Blizzard mess up this time? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, the easiest way I can sum it up for you all is that it's gotten so bad to the point where now Overwatch 2, it is the worst reviewed game on Steam. So, let me get straight into it. No need to keep you folks here any longer. So if we go over to Steam and look up Overwatch 2, you can see towards the right where all the reviews are. We can see that it's sitting at an overwhelmingly negative reviews with 9% out of the 100,266 user reviews for this game that are positive. Only 9%. And it gets worse than that. Some people even address their thoughts and concerns in the comment section for reviews. This person from Anony Mouse, I think is how you say it, I could be wrong, is addressing his thoughts and concerns by saying this is just a big mistake coming to Steam. Now you have the whole community, meaning the Steam community, people who play your games on Steam. Now you have the whole community critiquing your games accurately for all Steam users to see. Now, of course, if you have your games on PC, that is like a good portion of the user base for PC people, because a lot of people play their games over on Steam. Sometimes people don't always play on consoles or their Nintendo consoles. A good portion of the gaming industry of people who like to play video games play their games on PC. And Steam is one of those major sites. And if your game is overwhelmingly negative for everybody to see, that's got to be a red flag. But let's continue back into the reviews for the comments section because there's actually more I want to talk about here. And some of these people even have good points. Here we got another comment from one of the Steam reviews for Overwatch 2. This game has been review bombed, and I've seen backlash from others saying how it's unfair. Let me tell you firsthand, no, it's not. In my opinion, this is more deserved for what Blizzard has done. As someone who has played hundreds of hours of both Overwatch 1 and 2, I have a good idea for what is going on. This is the result of an extremely passionate group of people who have time and time again been let down by Blizzard. People who have committed countless hours to playing, watching, and consuming Overwatch content over the years. And this Steam reviews are fishy. He's right. This there's been so many changes going on with this game over the years. Now, from my personal experience, I remember getting Overwatch on day one and just having a lot of fun with the game back around the launch time. And of course, as the game went on, It was starting to become hit or miss, but I did enjoy the game for what it was worth. It was actually fun back then, before Overwatch 2 came along and pretty much just scrapped its predecessor, Overwatch 1. And ever since Overwatch 2 came out, it's just been getting absolutely destroyed by the entire community. Even fans or diehard fans of Overwatch 2 are starting to call out Blizzard and just how terrible this game has gotten. And it doesn't help considering the fact that this game is being stuffed to the brim with overly priced microtransactions. And I definitely said this in my previous video talking about Overwatch, but a good majority of people want loot boxes to come back because at least for the loot boxes, there was actually a balanced system in place. Now, don't get the wrong idea saying, oh, everybody wants to go back to the loot box rave all over again. No, just don't take that the wrong way. If people want loot boxes to come back into Overwatch, that's how you know this new monetization system has gotten very bad. And to make matters worse, and I'm going to go off on a rant here, but the game is now 5v5 instead of 6v6. So you can't play with a full team of 6 people anymore, which is very disappointing. And to make matters even worse, all player progression now is now converted to the battle pass. So if you try to earn any XP in your games, too bad. It's going towards that battle pass. So much for trying to improve your overall profile stats, am I right? This is just getting ridiculous, man. And here I remember I remember when I was a huge fan of Overwatch, just watching the major league players just competing in tournaments. And I remember sitting on the couch with my brother just watching the whole thing unfold. And now seeing where Overwatch 2 is right now, I went from being a fan of Overwatch to just completely not interested and put off. And I just absolutely hate the game now because Blizzard decided to just slap everyone in the face with this. But anyway, let's continue, shall we? Because there is still a little bit more I want to talk about. Looking at this review for Overwatch 2 on Steam, Slender Fox. For reference, I have 1,139 hours in Overwatch since the original released in 2016. Do not spend a single cent, peso, ruble, whatever. Meaning, don't spend a penny on this game. Don't spend money. Whatever in this game. Activision Blizzard does not deserve it. Don't say, but I'm supporting the devs. You are not. This is not an indie company. The developers are salaried workers or salaried workers. I apologize if I read that wrong. Your money goes straight to the executives' Christmas bonus. However, you may notice this game is free. You can play it without spending any money. So should you? Probably not. Now, of course, I did wanted to highlight the important parts of this person's review because, again, he did make some good points. And to be fair, it's not all the developers' fault. The people that work on the game. Because those people genuinely want to make this game good. They're just only doing what they're told. And unfortunately, those people that are telling the developers what to do is pretty much the higher ups. It's those higher up people, the corporate people, those fat cats in their fancy suits rolling in the dough, aka the money, or their balls of yarn full of money. It's those fat cat corporate people and the higher ups that are telling these developers on the ground floor to tell them, hey, put all this stuff in the game. I don't care how the people react. Let's just make the money. And I'm pretty sure the developers don't want to overstuff the game with microtransactions. I'm pretty sure some of them are trying to tell people, yeah, but shouldn't we focus on the core gameplay instead of stuffing the game with microtransactions? But it is what it is at this point. It's very unfortunate. But however, the game, like I said earlier, it's just overly monetized to the point where, like I said earlier, more people would rather go back to loot boxes rather than this new overly monetized system. And again, don't get the wrong idea. If the fact that people want to go back to loot boxes, that just proves how terrible this new monetization system is for Overwatch 2. So, again, like, this is just really bad. And as a matter of fact, there's even an article I would like to read to you all that kind of summarizes the current state of Overwatch 2 as well. So, this article comes from techspot.com. I'm going to read it to you all, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on this after. Remember when Diablo Immortal made headlines for being the lowest scoring game on Metacritic based on user reviews? Blizzard has managed to repeat the unwanted feat on a different platform. Overwatch 2 is now the worst reviewed game on Steam since its arrival on Steam on Thursday, this being now a few days from the recording of this video. Overwatch 2 has amassed over just 95,000 reviews, 86,000 which are negative, which have gone up again by the time of the recording of this video, according to Steam 250.com's website that shows the worst reviewed games on Valve's platform. Overwatch 2 now sits at the top of the list thanks to its .96 aggregate, I think is how you say it, user score, and 10% of it being positive. Free-to-play Overwatch 2 negative reviews mean it has now dethroned War of the Three Kingdoms as the most disliked Steam title, which is not an easy thing to do. And of course, they show off the top 5 worst games on Steam in the article. Now, obviously, this is a huge slap in the face to Blizzard, but at this point, I think we can all agree that Blizzard just doesn't care. They don't care. It's like an EA mentality over here. They just don't care if they have the worst reviewed game in the whole planet. They don't care if they have the worst reviewed game on PC. They don't care if they have the worst reviewed game on console. They don't care if they have destroyed the player base and all their trust and everything. Blizzard just doesn't care. As long as they're making money, that's all they care about. It's just another EA mentality going on here. That's pretty much all it is. Blizzard just simply doesn't care. They don't care about the players. They don't care about making the game good. They don't care about the current state of the game. They only care about making money. And Blizzard should be ashamed of themselves. But maybe one day we're going to get a game that will dethrone Overwatch 2 at this point, but only time will tell at this point. And this is very unfortunate, because again, I used to be a big fan of Overwatch, but ever since Overwatch 2 came out, I just simply don't care anymore. Like, I just lost all interest and all hope in this game. And seeing where Blizzard has taken the direction of Overwatch 2, this just continues to prove everybody's point. So, this is unfortunate. I have officially no hope of Overwatch 2 ever being good at this point going forward, and this was the final straw. I was hoping this game would make a comeback, but at this point, Blizzard is just going to continue to stick with their guns. They don't care at this point. They're just going to continue to run this game into its grave. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. And until next time, I'm talking about how Overwatch 2 is now one of the worst games on Steam. And I'll see you all later.